Hello, everybody. It's me, Chastity White Rose, and I have not done a live stream for maybe a few weeks by now. And I have some big plans for this stream. I want to be talking about Tetris, and there's also an open source version of Tetris that I want to share and I want to do some things with. So I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to show you some amazing things. I'm going to screen share. I have a big event planned for tonight. So this will probably be an hour long at least, because I have major plans. But as is mandatory for my live streams, I must go through the rules of Stream Club. The first rule of Stream Club is you can talk about anything in Stream Club. The second rule of Stream Club is, you must ask questions. No, my burp wasn't the second rule. But the second rule of Stream Club is you must ask questions. That means you need to comment on my live streams, and I'll try to respond to comments while I'm still live. Otherwise, I'll do it afterwards. The third rule of Stream Club is you have to trust Chastity. I'm Chastity, and you have to trust me. I'm not sure why, but I make the rules, so I say you have to trust me. The fourth rule of Stream Club is be excellent to each other. And the fifth rule of Stream Club is party on, dudes. The sixth rule of Stream Club is don't move to Canada. The seventh rule of Stream Club is the toy must be squeaked. Okay, the toy has been squeaked. Now, the eighth rule of Stream Club is donate to River. You see, my friend and roommate, River, started a GoFundMe account recently and wants top surgery, wants mastectomy, and started a GoFundMe for anybody who wants to donate to help them save up for surgery. So that would be much appreciated. So I officially made it Rule 8 of Stream Club, at least right now. After he has top surgery, then I'll change rule number 8 to something else, I suppose. Or you can continue to donate to River, one way or another. So I thought that was worth mentioning. Anyway, now that the rules of Stream Club are out of the way, I want to talk about some things. And I'm going to be viewing the comments. So anybody who leaves me any comments, I might be able to read them unless I'm busy on another screen. So anyway, I want to talk about how I've been playing Tetris a lot. People have seen my Tetris videos. I've been playing many different versions of Tetris. And Tetris has a very exciting and yet controversial history. You have to really watch the documentary and read the full history of Tetris. But anyway, because of the simplicity of the game Tetris, which is really tetrominoes, it goes by many names. Most people call it Tetris, but some people call it tetrominoes because the shapes are tetrominoes, shapes that can be made out of different four squares. You'll notice that in Tetris, every block is made up of connecting four squares together. And that's how you get the 7 different shapes. So there are many different ways to play Tetris, many different websites, many different official versions that you can buy on a variety of platforms, as well as some that are totally free. You can download on your computer or on your phones. And even Tetris 99 on the Switch, if I'm not mistaken, is free to download. It has, downloadable content that you can buy, and I bought all of it. But there is a special version of Tetris that I want to show today that works on a Linux terminal. It might run even in DOS if it was compiled for DOS, in fact. So I have this installed. I'm running Linux. I'm running Ubuntu Linux on my computer. And so I want to show you how I run this game, because I already have it installed. I want to show you how this game runs and how it's played. But you'll see it's the same as Tetris, but it's based off of the original. It's the original one that was originally made before it became available on other platforms. So anyway, I'm going to start a screen share, and hopefully I'll be able to show you what it's like as I play Tetris here. So I'm going to share my entire screen is what I'm going to do. The screen's going to get freaky like that. Now I'm going to leave my web browser and I'm going to my terminal here. So here, I'm going to open up my terminal. I'm going to make this bigger. I'm going to hide this little notification that's driving me crazy here. Okay, and then I'm going to type in tint. The name of this program is tint. And when I do it, it asks me what level I want to start at. I'm going to start at the slowest speed. Or what happens if I just push enter? It just asks the same thing. We're going to start at 1, the slowest speed. And now you see we have a falling block here. Check this out. I can press P to pause, and while I look at the controls. So here, this is tint. It's very much like Tetris. It has the controls on the left side of the screen there. And so this game is basically operated with P for pause, J to move the block left, L to move it right, and K to rotate it. So you can play with only 3 keys. However, it only allows for rotating one direction. It's not like the other versions that let you rotate more than one way. And then it has an option to draw the next block, which is off by default, and it even has an option to toggle the lines. For example, oh, now the block fell. See, it lets you draw these lines like that, and I can turn them off too. So as you see, I'm basically playing tint, which is just like Tetris, and as you see, the space key is what drops. So after I have the piece in place, I press space and to drop it in that spot. So basically, this is Tetris. That's basically what this is. And it works pretty much like the older versions of Tetris that you would be used to. And this is actually running in a terminal emulator. And you see, this actually runs even if you don't have a graphical Windows system installed on your Linux system. It still works in a regular terminal. So it basically uses very little computer resources. It's very simple. Yeah, that was nice. So this is just one of many different touch screens, but because this one actually runs in a terminal, it doesn't use OpenGL, it doesn't use SDL, SFML, Allegro, or any of these fancy graphical systems. It basically, I don't know exactly how it works, but that's what I'm hoping to find out. So right now, I'm playing some Tetris here. And in fact, while I'm doing a live stream, let's see how long I can survive. I wonder if I should just keep playing until it gets too fast for me. Yeah, why not? Let's see how long I can go. And what's interesting about this is that at a certain point, Tetris becomes so fast that you just can't continue. You end up blocking out at the top of the screen. They call it blocking out instead of blacking out. You get the joke? That's what it's called. So yeah, that's the way this always works for anybody who's played any type of version of this game. It's just going to get faster until I die, basically. That's what it's going to do. So let's see. What I'm going to do is, since I've already got it going, let's see what kind of a high score I can get. This could be interesting. It also would be interesting if sometime I try it starting at speed 9, which is the highest speed. I'm not doing too bad so far, and the main key to survival in Tetris is that the lower you keep the board at all times, the playing field, then the easier it is to move the next block into position before it reaches the bottom. So that's just basic common sense, although it's not as exciting. Sometimes it's more exciting to live dangerously. Let's see here. is most interesting. Ooh, okay, that did not go exactly as planned. Ooh. I'm not used to this version of Tetris. There's actually others I'm more familiar with playing, and they let you rotate the block even after it's already touched the other blocks. This one does not, so it doesn't let me rotate it once it's already touched the other blocks. So it's a little bit harder. I'm not used to this one as much. I would need a lot more practice to get used to the mechanics of it. Okay, yeah, this is yeah. But that's my high score. Yeah, anyway, you get the basic idea. Now, let's look at the manual page of this. If I do man tint, it has some information about it. Clone of the original tint. And I'm not sure if there was a version before. Oops. Wait, okay. See, of tint for another system, but this is an open source version of tint or Tetris. So this has some basic options. Like, for example, it lets you specify on the command line the starting level, 1 through 9. And then it has very few options, honestly. But notice the option to use the specified character instead of spaces to draw blocks. So let's try that out. Let's try this. Let's say use the character C. How about C? Because C is the first letter of my name. So I'm going to do tint B /-B, and I'm going to do capital C. And let's see how it goes. Okay, let's start at level 9 this time and run this game again. Now, isn't that interesting? It uses, like each block is actually made up of 2 of that character. Whoa, that is weird looking. Wait, isn't it just the weirdest looking thing? Yeah, that's pretty weird. It's also too fast at level 9. So yeah, this program has a few options. So here's what I'm thinking. You've seen how this works. So let's go and find the actual website where the source code can be downloaded. This is an open source program. It has a special license. So let's see about this. So I'm going to go back to my web browser and we're going to look up tint. So I'm going to open a new tab and let's look up tint and see what we find. Oh, right. Tint has another meaning. Okay, so let's do tint game. Let's see here. Oh, there's another game called Tint that's a puzzle game about painting. Ooh. Tint has so many meanings. Okay. Tint Tetris. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up Tint Tetris to even get this. Okay. So it's on GitHub. Oh yeah, there's a lot of interesting things about this. There's videos, there's other pages that mention this. Yeah. So I'm going to look through all these links individually myself at some point. But right now, let's go to the GitHub page for Tint. Okay, so here, Tint is not Tetris, TN in parentheses, trademark. At least the name isn't. So here's the thing to understand is because Tetris, the trademark Tetris is actually owned by a certain company, Tetris is kind of like Kleenex. And the reason Tetris is like Kleenex is because people don't say facial tissue. They say Kleenex, even though Kleenex is a brand name of facial tissues that you use to blow your nose with. In the same way, Tetris is only a trademarked name of Tetrominoes, which is a game that many people have. People are calling their versions Tetris, even though there are legal problems with doing so. That's why this is called Tint instead of Tetris. And yet, somebody has to use the word Tetris in a Google search, even just to find the page of this game. So it's odd how that works. So let's see here. As the title suggests, this is a clone of the original Tetris game written by Alex Pajitnov, Dmitry Polovsky, and Vadim Gerasimov. The game is as close to the original as possible, but there are a few differences. Nevertheless, it's probably the closest to the original you'll ever find in the Unix world. So this is, I guess, the source code, like all these files. Now, what I want to know, though, is I wonder if there's a way to download an archive of all of this code instead of downloading the files individually. Let's see here. Ooh, clone. Oh, there is a download zip option. And that's what I want, because I want to download a zip of this. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, and I'm going to bookmark this page too, so I can find it easier. Okay, so I'm going to download a zip of the source code, because anybody can download the source code, but only programmers will know how to use this. So let's see, I'm going to download this. I know. I'm just going to create a new folder, tint. This is a tint folder where I download the zip file of the source code. So that's what I'm going to do. I've downloaded that. So now that I've downloaded that, let's check and see. Okay, no comments right at this point. So now that I've downloaded the source code, I'm going to open it up and look at it. So let me go to my file browser and let's go to my downloads, and here's Tint. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to just extract it here, and we have a folder, Tint Master. So now you see we have all the files that were showing up in the list in the web browser. So we have a folder called Debian, we have config.h, we have credits, we have all kinds of things. Now, looking at this, let's see how big all these things are together. Let's see what the total file size is. 73.1 kilobytes. That's less than 100 kilobytes, which is not very much for a full-featured Tetris game. So, I should look at some of these files. Let's see what is in these files, because this is everything. I mean, if I learned how to compile this from source, I can modify the source code of this game and do all kinds of crazy things with it. So let's see. Let's look at this. Okay, Debian, source, changelog, compat, control, copyright, dirs, docs, install. Oh man, there's everything. Let's see. Format, source format, and that 3.0 native. How weird. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see. It has a change log detailing all the changes of the different versions. Okay, nice. Compat. 7. I wonder why that file just contains 7. How weird is that? Control. Now, let's see. Yep, just some basic information. Here's the copyright. Okay, this is the Debian new Linux package version of Tint. These files were written and packaged by Abraham Van Merway. That has an email address. Nice. The game is released under a derivative of the BSD license. For more information, see that link. The original source can be found at oasis.frogfoot.net. Oh, interesting. So there's another website, oasis.frogfoot.net. Copyright, let's see here. Okay, yeah. Interesting. Let's look at this. Copyright C. Abraham Merway. All rights reserved. Redistribution and use in source and binary forms with or without modification are permitted provided that the following conditions are met. Redistributions of source code must retain the above copyright notice, the list of conditions, and the following disclaimer. Redistributions in binary form must reproduce the above copyright notice, list of conditions, and the following disclaimer in the documentation and/or other material provided with the distribution. Neither the name of the author nor the names of other contributors may be used to endorse or promote products derived from this software without specific prior written permission. This software is provided by the copyright holders and contributors as is, and any express or implied warranties, including but not limited to the implied warranties of merchantability and fitness for a particular purpose, are disclaimed. In no event shall the regents or contributors be liable for any direct, indirect, incidental, special, exemplary, or consequential damages, including but not limited to procurement of substitute goods or services, loss of use data or profits, or business interruption, however caused on any theory of liability, whether in contract, strict liability, or tort, including negligence or otherwise, arising in any way out of the use of the software, even if advised of the possibility of such damage. I have no idea what that just said, but I'm inspired. Legalese is impossible to read, but I'm going to check out this link. I want to see what oasis.frogfoot.net contains, if that website even still exists. Let's check it out. That website is no longer available. Well, at least we have the GitHub page that I downloaded the source from. So let's go back to this. Let's see what we have. Dears. Okay, user games, user share man, and 6 of our games. Okay. Docs, notes, credits, install. Okay. Tint user names. Let's see. And I already have it installed, so I'm not going to be installing it. I'm just looking at the details that are important if somebody does install from source. I'm looking at all this. Let's see here. Ooh, interesting. Rules. How strange. I have no idea what most of these files are about. Let's see here. But I can look at these various files. Oh, here's the README file. I'm going to look at this file, see if I understand anything. Wait, it's my Calibre ebook viewer is here. Okay, Tint is not Tetris. At least the name isn't. As the title suggests, this is a clone of the original Tetris game. Yeah, okay, that's very interesting. In fact, it would make more sense to read it with a different, like just a regular text editor. It's just a plain text file. Okay, yeah, that doesn't contain much information. Ooh, there's a make file, and I know what a make file is. I use a make file in my own program. Okay, has the same copyright notice, and it has all the rules for if somebody is trying to compile from source. But it's a lot more complicated than my make file that I've made before. Okay, very interesting. Let's see what else there is. Notes. Okay, I don't understand that either. Let's see here. Let's look and see. Let's look. Oh, credits. Yes, the creators of the original Tetris. That's their names. I tried visiting these links before, but they're discontinued as well. So it's hard to contact these people, I'm sure. Let's see here. Well, let's look at some of the source files, I suppose. Let's look at these just to see how crazy they are. Interesting. This contains the same copyright notice, and this that is a character array here, and score file. Just a header file that doesn't contain much. I'm sure there serves a purpose here. Let's look at engine.c. Ooh, here is where it has some shapes. It has the colors that are assigned to certain shapes. How strange is that? I don't understand all of this. Ooh, this rotates a shape. This function rotates the shape. Let's see. I doubt that I'll ever be able to understand all this code. It's fun to look at it anyway, but I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so we have a shape T structure. There's a structure. This is the C programming language source code. So that obviously, by looking at this, I know there is a structure defined for a shape. And it has if clockwise. And it does this thing. Shape, yeah, accessing the block from the struct pointer and indexes that. X position equals minus. Oh, freaky, man. I don't understand all this. It looks very elegant, though. It looks like greatly written code, even though I don't know enough because I didn't write it myself. It rotates the way Tetris likes it, not mathematically correct. So we have a real rotate and we have a fake rotate. Just rotate this one anti-clockwise and clockwise. So it looks like there's code for more than one type of rotation, and yet there's only one key that rotates it while you're playing the game. Draw a shape on the board. Wow. Draw a shape. So it does a little loop there, and it does all that crazy stuff, man. Whoa, I don't even use structures in any of my own programming, so I'm not familiar with this, even though I learned about structures before. Check if shape is allowed to be in this position. Ooh, set Y coordinate of shadow, because it does the shadow too to show you where the block will be if you drop it. Move the shape left if possible. Ooh, okay. So see, there's a function for everything. This is really well-written code, and I could not possibly understand all of it just by looking at it. This is only one file. This is the engine file. This is the Tetris engine, basically. Has all kinds of details about how the lines are, how the blocks are drawn on the screen, how they're rotated. Man, this is more wild than anything I've ever programmed. Even though Tetris is a fairly simple game compared to Minecraft and compared to other popular games, it's still very complex. There's a lot of math that goes into rotating shapes, checking the collisions. Let's see what engine.h contains. Okay. Wow, same copyright notice. It's in like every file. Number of shapes in the game. Number of blocks in each shape. Number of rows and columns in board. Find number of rows and number of columns. Ooh. So the number of rows and the number of columns can be changed by these definitions. How interesting is that? Okay, let's see here. This is most interesting. Most interesting indeed. I would have to really play around with this and go. This could take hours and hours to really go over all this code. But what I'm wondering is how in the world I compile it from source. In fact, I could try just typing make and seeing if it works. Okay, I'm going to try compiling this program from source. I'm going to open it in the terminal. I'm in the correct directory. We see all the files there. Let's make this bigger. Okay. ls-l. Okay, we have all the files here. Since it has a make file, let's see if I type make, what happens. Let's see here. Curses.h. No such file or directory. Ooh, so it uses the curses library. Okay, I think I have a fix for that. But what I need to do is I need to use the restroom real quick before I continue with this experimental video. So I'll be right back. Okay, so it was trying to find the curses header file, and I know that the curses library is required for these types of games that run in a terminal that plays characters at completely strange spots. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, since I'm running Ubuntu Linux, this should be easy. Apt search curses to see if that library exists. Okay, so we have word grinder, simple word processor for writing first drafts, terminal version. Huh, how interesting is that? So, a word processor. I wonder, there's a lot of interesting things because curses is used a lot for all kinds of things. I think it's even used for Vim, but I'm not entirely sure. Efficient text mode hex editor. Ooh, that looks interesting. Okay, first I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up a new window. I'm going to do sudo apt install, and what was the name of that program? Tweak. I'm going to install Tweak. Just while I have this list open, I'm going to install some things, and I have to enter my fabulous password that only I know that lets me install things. Okay. Let's see here. But while we're at it, let's see what other things can be installed. There's a lot of things. Oh, there's even Sudoku. If I wanted to play Sudoku in a terminal. I don't like Sudoku that much, but I've done it before with an actual book. Let's see here. Ruby curses. They even have for the Ruby programming language. They have something that uses like if I wanted to make terminal games, I would probably have to use the curses library. In fact, that might not be a bad idea. It's probably easier than using OpenGL like I've been trying to do. Let's see. Man, there's so much. Oh, they haven't. Oh, no way, man. They even have a console, a Pac-Man game. Okay, I've got to try this. Pac-Man for console. Okay, we're going to try this. I'm going to install Pac-Man for console. Let's see if it works. Okay, let's see if this Pac-Man game actually works. Let's try this. I'm just super curious. Oh, to play Pac-Man for console, your console window must be at least 29 by 32. Please resize your window resolution and rerun the game. Okay, let's change it to the default. Okay, we're going to do. Okay, this could be very interesting. Okay, wait. I'm going to switch to the default profile, and we're going to try running this. Ooh, press any key. Oh, how freaky is that? Like, I'm. Oh, what? I'm running Pac-Man in a Linux terminal. Oh, come on, that's hilarious. Ooh, and the ghost came after me and just killed me. Okay, that was a bit weird. Okay, enough of that. Let me change back to my bigger size font. I just had to change it temporarily. Okay, anyway, yeah. So let's see what else we can install. Um, ooh, they even have a snake game. Okay, this is what's great about Linux. You can just install things. Next, we're going to install N Snake in case I want to play the snake game. It's just too easy to install things. I love it. I still haven't found the right library that, okay, we have ncurses term, additional terminal type definitions, ncurses hex edit. Ooh, edit files and disks in hex, ASCII, and EBCDIC. Okay, yep. Ncurses hex edit. If I ever want a hex editor that runs in terminal, I've got at least 2 of them stuck to this so far. And if I forget which ones they are, I can just look back at this video. I installed that. Ncurses hex edit, we installed Snake, Pac-Man for console, and Tweak. How interesting is that? Okay. I still have to find the right development library. Okay. Ncurses, ncurses examples, test programs and examples for ncurses. I think I'll install that too. Ooh, they even have the documentation. Okay, yeah. I'm going to install, ncurses examples, because what if I do programming with ncurses in the future? I need to have all the information installed. Okay, we have the examples, and we will install the documentation. Plus, it's probably I'd be looking it up online anyway, but it never hurts to have the documentation installed. Okay, that's nice. And as we see, the binary, the binary files were already installed, but let's see, where is the development files? Because, okay, first of all, let me go back. Okay, let me clear this. Let's try typing make. It's still, still not finding curses.h. So there's obviously still something I don't have installed. Let's search for curses again, because there's usually these back. Let's start at the top here, okay? Let's start at the top of this list, and let's see if we can find the development package, because there's usually a development package you have to install in order for you to be able to write programs using that library. Ooh, it even has dhex. Yeah, well, why not? Yeah, I'll install dhex as well. Why? It never hurts. Okay, but that's the only really hard thing about compiling the course, you have to have the right library installed, and it makes it easy with Linux because you can. Ooh, it even has hex compare. Oh yeah, I already have hex curse installed. But let's do hex compare. Compare. So you never know when you may need to compare two different files to see which bytes differ. Okay. I'm still looking. See, this is time consuming. Even trying to compile a game from source can be time consuming. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, let's see. I'm getting close here. So we have developers libraries for Anchors 32-bit, and then we also have the 64-bit. Huh, how interesting is that? And I don't know which I'm going to need. Okay, here's an idea. So let's do lib32 ncurses-dev. We're going to install the developer library. Okay, let's see. We're going to, shift and insert. Let's see here. Ooh. The following packages have unmet. Let's see. Some packages could not be installed. This may mean you have requested an impossible situation, or if using the unstable distribution, the some required packages have not yet created or been moved out of incoming. The following information may help to resolve the situation. The following packages have unmet dependencies. Okay, that depends on what is not going to be installed. Okay, so even though it was showing up in the list, it looks like we will use the lib64 ncurses. Okay, let's install the 64-bit version instead. Huh. How interesting. I wonder which is. Let's see here. Shared libraries for terminal handling. I wonder which is the right thing. How do I install? You know, there may be an easier way, perhaps, because I would like to do this all from a terminal if possible. Oh, this may be the right package. Lib ncurses-dev. See, there's so many different. Let's just do lib ncurses-dev. Okay, let's try this. Lib ncurses instead of lib32 or 64. Let's try this. Okay, it's installing some things here. Let's see if it worked. Now that I've installed the ncurses library, let's try. We're going to try clear, and then we're going to try and make again. Let's see here. Okay. So it has a warning that VW-printW is deprecated. So I guess it's deprecated. I know what that means. It's no longer recommended. But let's see here. It looks like it did something, and it linked with the library ncurses. It obviously compiled those things. So let's see what we have now. There is a tint program here. So now to run a program in the current directory, do /tint. Oh, and it behaves exactly the same. So let's try it out. Yay! It behaves exactly just like the original tint. So now I compiled and ran it from source. It's very interesting. But it behaves exactly like the version that's already installed. But I compiled this one from source. So it raises some interesting questions, though, because I could do some amazing things. So whether I do tint like that, it works. But then if I run the tint that's in this directory, then it also works. So either way, I can now compile this game from source because I have all the required libraries installed. That is nice. So what if I want to modify this game? This could get interesting. And I don't really know what I'm doing, but this is just for the sake of example. Let's try this, okay? So now, since I'm running this version here, and I already have it there. And let's see what happens if I run it from the terminal. Okay, it doesn't let me run it by double clicking on it. But let's see here. We have, what's tint.6? Ooh, interesting. This looks like something related to the manual page. How interesting is that? Oh, and here's tint.c. Wow, this uses a lot of different libraries and header files. It has booleans defined for these. I'm not even sure if this is C or C++ actually. It looks mostly like C code to me. Cool. I mean, I have all the source code of Tetris, basically. It's open source. I just downloaded it and I got it compiled. I had to go through some trouble to get the library installed, and I installed a whole bunch of other tools while I was at it, just in case they come in handy someday. Though in reality, I probably won't use them. But this is massive. Like, this is absolutely massive. And then here is the show help, where it just prints all this stuff. If somebody wants to know the command line options. Wow. Very interesting. Here's an idea. What if I find that file? Let's look at engine.h. Ooh, here's the number. Here it is, engine.h. The number of rows and columns in board. What if I mess around with this stuff? Let's change the number of columns, okay? So first let's look at what the game is like. Let's run tint, and it has the standard like about 10 columns. But what if I change that? What if I try? I'm not entirely sure, because this doesn't seem to match traditional Tetris. It seems interesting. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the original amount of columns in a comment here. That's what I like to do. And then let's change this to, okay, it was 13. Let's make this 23. Let's see what it does. Let's see what happens if I then recompile and run the program. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but let's try it. Okay, it looks like it compiled, and when I type make again, then it says nothing because it's already done. There's no new changes. Whoa, now isn't that interesting? I made the playing field wider, but because of the fact, whoa, I think I broke it. I think I broke it, man. Okay, I have an idea. Let's change my profile back to the default. I have a special profile I made for tint. Okay, here's what it looks like originally. Let's look at this. Tint. Oh, that's right. This is the original as it was. Okay, but let's run the one that's in this directory. Oh, and I can close this screen now. I can close that. Okay, now let's run this. Ooh, the playing field is wider. You see now how it's like a perfect square? Oh, okay, that's just great. That is awesome, dudes. Now what happens? Okay, what happens if I change this to 10? Let's try it. And we're gonna do make, and then we're gonna do tint. Let's run this. Ooh, 1. How interesting is that? It's almost like, yeah, then it's not as wide as it was. It's kind of freaky. Okay, I have an idea. I have a freaky idea. Let's change this to 2. Okay, let's see here. Congratulations, you have a new high score. Okay, is that funny or what? Like I run the game, and then it's like, congratulations, you have a new high score. Okay, that's funny. Okay, let's change this. Let's change this to 32. Let's try it. Okay, we're gonna make, and then we're gonna run it again. Now it's much wider. Now the playing field is much wider. That is crazy, man. It's probably a little bit harder to lose, but now I would have to go across the whole screen. See, my original tint profile was based on the size that things were. Now it no longer applies. But I made the playing field longer. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, and then we're also going to change this. As long as I have comments of what the original values were, then I can always put it back to the way it was. This is funny. So now let's make both of these 32. We're going to make them both 32, and then we're going to compile this. This actually works very well, amazingly. Okay. Now it's almost like a perfect square, but it's a bigger area. How freaky is that, man? Okay. Let's change these to both to 64. Ooh, whoa, I think I broke it, man. Now it's like really screwed up. I made it too big to fit in the terminal. Okay, yeah, that's pretty freaky, man. Yeah, that's cool though. Okay, let's change these to their original values. Okay, let's change these back to what their original value was, just so that the game operates the way it's supposed to be. Wall ID, arbitrary, but shouldn't have the same value as one of the colors. Okay, let's try this. Okay, now the game works pretty much the way it did before. But and now that it's back to its original size, let's change it back to my big size there. In fact, yeah, it looks good. It looks super good. But let me try something. Okay, tint-h. Okay, so I can automatically make this start level 1. Okay, so I'm going to do clear, and we're going to do tint-L1. And then it starts level 1 automatically. So notice that there's some other interesting constants. Notice how the number of blocks in each shape is 4. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to change 4 to 6. What happens if I change the number of blocks from 4 to 6? Let's see what it does. Okay, we're going. Oh, that's right. I need to be making sure I use the one that's built in. Okay, so I haven't recompiled it yet. So now we're going to make, and then we're going to run it. And I don't even know what difference it makes that I chose 6 instead of I'm not even sure if it makes a difference or not. I don't think it makes a difference, but let's, just for the fun of it, let's change it to 40, the number of blocks in each shape. Let's see what it does if I compile it and rerun it. Huh. No real difference that I can see. So let's change it back to 4, and there's the number of shapes in the game. I wonder how this applies. Okay, but here's what I'm going to do. Let's try changing that. See, I'm just experimenting. Like, I don't really know exactly what I'm doing. I'm messing around with the source code and changing constants. But as you see, even though I've never looked at the source code in my life, I have a basic understanding of numerical constants and how to change C source code and compile and run software. Because I've compiled and run my own OpenGL programs before. My animations on my YouTube channel are from that. So let's change the number of shapes from 7 to 1. Let's just change it for the fun of it. Okay, we're going to make, excess elements in array initializer. So by making it 1, it did not. So changing it to 1 does not makes it not work very well. Okay, let's try this. Let's change it to 10 instead. Now let's try running it. Doesn't seem to do much. Oh, how interesting is that? Huh. How freaky. Yeah, let's change it back to 7. I'm not sure what it changes. Let's see here. We have a bunch of variables here. So I already know how to change the size of the board. I've proven that. Let me check to see if I have any comments on this stream. Nope, no comments. Nobody cares about my programming Tetris experiments here. Anyway, so let's go back to this. Let me go back to my thing here. Let's see here. Config.h. Let's see. Okay, let's see which file. We have io.c. Now this number of colors defined in io.h. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Current color used on screen. So this must be the file that actually draws. Yeah, cursor set, normal, clear. Yeah, so there's all this stuff. This must be, so this just draws the characters to the screen. Theoretically, it'd be possible to make this an OpenGL program or just use some other library if somebody kept most of the code the same way but had to change all the input code and all of the code that draws to a screen like to a regular window. But I don't see the point because if anybody wants to be fancy, it's better to play Tetris Effect Connected. I swear that game is awesome. But I like the fact that this version of Tetris runs in a terminal. Let's see, read a character. Let's see, okay, yep. Let's see what else there is. We have tint.c. Is there anything important? Max level, number of levels in the game. I bet it'd be possible to make it go even faster than level 9, but seeing as I fail even at level 9 in this version, it's probably not worth doing that. Okay. The score is multiplied by this to avoid losing position. This calculates the time allowed to move shape before it is moved a row down. Define delay. Interesting. So it's nice that this code has all these comments for the programmers to look at. This function is responsible for increasing the score appropriately whenever A block collides at the bottom of the screen or the top of the heap. So this is about the score. How interesting is that? Draw the board on the screen. Let's see here. How interesting is all this? There's all this stuff. Oh, and this is, it draws the background, it draws all these things. So the text that appears on screen all appears here. Yeah, so people can change the text that appears on screen if they want to, very easy. Your level, full lines, yeah, it keeps track of all those interesting informations. And it lets you set the color of the text. Color white, color black, yeah, color red, nice. There's a lot of code that goes on there. Here's for score title. Man, all the code of the entire version of Tetris is all here. Just think how hard it was for the original programmer of Tetris. I mean, this is like 73 kilobytes or whatever. And even though that's small compared to today's modern games, it's still a lot. But the fact that it's open source and I can look at all the source code is what makes it special. Oh man. Yeah, this is good. Let's see here. But I know I want to modify some things, but I need to pee again. So I'm going to use the restroom again, and then I'm going to mess around with the code a little bit more. Okay, yeah. Let's see. I know that there are things that I could do here. Let's see. What do I have here? I'm not even sure. Let's see here. So, okay. Tint.scores. Ooh. Oh, this must be the score file. Okay. Let's see if I can open this file. Hey, I know. Let's just, okay, clear cat tint.scores. Interesting. Okay, let's see here. Let's go back to the engine because, okay, let's see. First of all, the engine, yeah, the engine.h header file had those numbers I changed earlier and I changed some things. So, well, let's look at the engine.c file. In fact, let's look at the size of these files sorted. So it looks like the largest file is the executable and the object file and the, yeah, so 2.c. So, but let's look at engine.c and notice that it has these various colors defined here. I could probably change these colors if I knew enough about how the code works. I could probably move things around. This is very strange. Let's see, but is there anything that I could figure out how to change here? I wonder. Let's see here. Let's see here. And if I knew which, I know, if I knew which If I knew where the code was that determines what the keys and what they all do, then I could maybe modify some things. But there's so many things in this code. I do have an idea though. What if I can make the game go even slower than level 1? So like currently, oh, well, that's weird. Okay, first of all, okay, here's level 1, and it goes at that speed. What if I change it to go even slower with the blocks than level 1? Which would be good, since I'm not good at this version of Tetris yet. Okay. Let's go back to, let's see. Let's look at the engine. Let's go back to tint.c. Let me change them according to name again. Because, define min level and max level. This calculates the time allowed to move a shape before to move the road down. Delay looks like 1,000,000 divided by the level plus 2. Ooh. Well, here's an idea. Hey, I know. What if I comment out the original value here, and let's just make it be, okay, let's change it to 1 and see what happens if I recompile and rerun it. Congratulations, you have a new high score. That is so funny. Like before the game even loads, it automatically just does it. Okay, let's change it to 1,000. Let's change it to 1,000, compile and rerun. Oh, now it was slow enough to actually see it briefly appeared. Okay, now let's try 10,000. Let's try changing it like that. Ooh, okay, that was crazy fast. Okay, let's next try 100,000. Okay, that's kind of fast. And then we will change it back to, because we're not going to be dividing it by the level. We're just going to have it be 1,000,000. Ooh, now it's actually much slower. It's slower than level 1 was. So I've slowed it down. By increasing this number, I can slow the Tetris blocks falling down. Okay, that's pretty good. So let's change it to 10 million. Now it's 10 million. Let's see here. Now it's really slow. In fact, the block doesn't even appear to be falling. Okay, yeah, that's pretty fun. Let's see if I speed up. Oh, it's sped up to level 9, but the block is not seeming to fall. I can still drop the block, but the block doesn't even appear completely. Okay, maybe that's a little too slow. Okay, let's change it back to 1,000,000. Okay, that's still pretty slow, but and now the level doesn't actually Change even the higher, because now I've removed the part of the code that is based on the current level. So let's try setting it to 2 million this time. Okay. Now it's extremely slow. Now, if only I knew of a way to make it not move except when I wanted it to. I would have to do more modifying of the code, but as you see, I already know how to change a few constants and change the behavior of it. Because you can change behavior just by the game, just by changing the number, even if you don't understand the code. That's what's great about it. This is super slow Tetris. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Let's see. Although what I'll do now is I will change it back to its original value. That's what I'll do. I'll change it back to its original value so that it behaves the way that it originally did. So I've made, so now it's pretty much the way it is. And let's see, if I do tint like the way it was, yeah, it's the same speed as the original version I had installed. But yeah, so it works. But so right now it behaves like the way it did, but I just made some comments. Plus, I have this video to remind me of what I changed when I did those things. Let's see. What if I find I think I know which, yes, I think I know which file to go to change the next thing I want to mess with. Okay, let's see. We have io.h. This has the, Chris.h. Yeah, this is used for the IO. Let's see. That's class prototypes for those things. Let's see. io.c. Let's see here. Read a character. Please note that must call in timeout before character. Let's see here. Get the screen width, get the screen height. Somewhere I'm guessing that in here the let's see here, because I know the different keys that are pressed, like the K, J, and L keys, obviously have to be in the code here somewhere in order to be modified. Let's see, what is this icon here? Well, that's just my audio settings. Okay. Let's see, and tint.c. Let's see here what we have. I don't know which of the source files has this in it. Yeah, this is the most interesting. I don't even know. I actually would probably want to continue my experimentation with this source code after I'm done with the live stream, possibly. But the idea of this live stream is to show you that yes, there is such a thing as open source versions of Tetris. And the focus of this video has been Tint, the open source version of Tetris that runs on Linux and that I even compiled from source. Ooh, I think I found it. How interesting. Yeah. Yeah, first of all, yeah, because we have make and the week, yeah. Yep, I mean, this works. Okay, so let's look. I think I found what I was looking for. So here is the main function, is in tint.c. It has some variables. It has draw shape, draw board. Okay. Engine.board. Out, refresh. Check if user pressed a key. So if the case is J, then the case is key left. And then it does the engine, action left. And if it's key up, then it's action rotate. Oh yeah, K stands for key up, J is for key left, L is for key right, and then key down is action down. Okay, let's see. J, K, L, key right, okay. And then key down is engine move, yeah, action down. So next piece is S. So it is possible to put in customized keys. If I did modify this and I wanted to have certain code that happened. So we know P is for pause. So, okay. And it prints to the screen, pause, pressing a key to continue, and then it waits for a key to be pressed. And then it, okay, yeah, I see how it works. And the default is a beep. How interesting. Okay. Well, the player, if he wants to quit. Okay, so, okay, and if you press Q, it ends. So I see it here. So actually, I want to try something else though. Okay, so if I run this program, oh, I see. Because I see. I can actually. Oh, I see how it is. I can press the up keys and the arrow keys. It's not just the J, K, and L. I can also use the arrow keys. Interesting. In fact, this gives me an idea. This gives me a wonderful idea. Because I just realized that, see, there is no letter key that stands for the down action. I don't have to play using J, K, and L anymore. This could get interesting, and let's see. Okay, space. Oh yeah, space for draw. Key down, so, how interesting. Key down, so, okay, this gives me an idea. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to that one file, I think it was the config file. No, that wasn't it. I think it might have been the engine.c file. Or was it the engine.h? I can't keep all these files straight. There's so many files. Okay. No, that wasn't it. Which one was it? There are so many files here. So many, yes, so many files. Let's see here. I feel like I'm close. Let's see, tint. Oh man, there's even utils.c. Initialize random number generator. Man, there's everything. Into int. First string to long, returns true if successful. Okay, nice. Let's see here. Which one was it? Big. No, that wasn't it. Oh, that's, yeah. There's so many different files with so many different things. I don't know which one is which. Where was that one file that I had? Oh, type defs. No, I have a feeling it was probably either in tint.c or in the engine. Yeah, this was where the keys were, but I wanted to go and find where that delay was. Oh wait, oh here it was. Yeah, here it was. Okay. Let's calculate the time allowed to move the shape before it is moved a row down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply, hey, let's make this. Okay, yeah. I'm going to have this. We're gonna slow this program way down again, like before. Okay. It's pretty slow, but it can be sped up by holding down. That's the beautiful part about this. Okay, so now here's what I'm going to do. This value I'm going to change from 1,000,000 to 1,000,000,000. This is going to get really interesting. So now I'm going to compile it and then run it. And now nothing's showing up. But when I press down, it does. You see? It gives me a huge amount of time. Like I feel like eventually the block will go down, but it's so slow. Because I've changed it to a really long time. So even though this block will theoretically eventually start falling on its own, it's so slow that it gives me almost infinite time. Okay, so if I press the up key, it rotates it leftwards, like counterclockwise. But if I press the K key, counterclockwise. Oh, counterclockwise? Yeah. They're both counterclockwise. Counterclockwise that way, but also counterclockwise that way. So either way, it still does a counterclockwise type of rotation. And yet, I have all this time to choose where to put the block. Oh, this is funny. Okay, this is really funny. Okay, let's try something. Now, I know I can use the arrow keys. Okay, this is actually really nice. I can use the arrow keys on my keyboard, or I can use JK and L. So now I basically slowed down Tetris so much that now I have greater control over where these things are placed. Okay, that's just brilliant. Hey, check that out. Okay, that's funny. You gotta admit that's pretty funny. Okay, so how interesting is that? Okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that is just really good. Now I have all the time I need to place that. Oh, oh, come on, that's just too much. See, it gives me lots of time to place the block exactly where I want them to be. Let's see. Some of these blocks don't really have a good spot for them. Ooh, let's try this. Ooh, it doesn't let me. In some versions of Tetris, I can rotate my way into really awkward spots. Ooh. Doesn't let me do it here. Okay, oh well. I'm still gonna get Tetris clear pretty soon, I think. This is funny, man. Oh, that's just great. That's awesome. Yeah. Okay, yeah. That's genius. So now because it's a constant value, even if I choose, let's try level 10. If it nope, it has to be between level 1. So even if I choose level 9, the highest level, it doesn't make a difference because the speed no longer depends on the level. So let's try clearing the line. See, it also changes depending. Yeah, how interesting is that? Okay. Okay, we're going to clear this line. I know there's 1 point. We're doing that. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it's about 100 points for clearing a single line. Oh, actually, my score seems to be increasing rapidly. Oh, how interesting is that? I'm not even sure why my score is getting so high, but I did break the game after all. I edited source code. Well, that's it. I have officially broken Tetris. Um, so I think that's enough of that. But there is actually one other thing that I do want to show, besides of showing the fact that I can modify the source code of this Tetris game. There is another version of Tetris that is free to play. I even have a previous video of me playing it. Let me go back to my web browser here. I still have no comments. Nobody cares about this stuff, which is really sad, actually. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, while I'm still sharing my screen, I'm going to go to tech.io. Now, this is a basically free-to-play online Tetris, and it remembers me that I'm Chess Rose here. So check this out. I'm going to turn off the sound because there's music. What does this do? Okay, I'm going to turn off the music in Tetrio here because when I'm doing live streams, it doesn't really pick up the audio from it anyway. Plus, it only subtracts from the quality of my speaking. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you another thing. There's 40 lines where you complete 40 lines as quickly as possible. Blitz is a 2-minute race against the clock. And Zen is relax or train in this never-ending mode. Now, Zen mode, I want to show you something interesting. Because I'm going to start with Zen mode. And look at this. This is Tetris in a web browser. Anybody can play this. I mean, it's easier to play this version than setting up Tint, which I was just showing. But Tint was special just because it runs in a Linux terminal. So it's interesting that way. But now notice that we have some very slow falling blocks here. But check this out. Look on the sidebar. There's off and there's sub-zero. I'm not even sure what this is. Okay, no gravity, infinite movement. And there's off, which is no gravity. I'm not entirely sure what the difference is between on, sub-zero and off exactly. And then it has relaxed and engaging, spicy, and static. Okay, so here's the thing is, because the gravity is turned off, I have the same thing in Tetrio that I had in tint, where I basically had all the time I needed to move pieces. So this is not the first time that there's been a Tetris game to do that kind of thing. But the fact that I did it by modifying the source of an existing Tetris game like that, which is not supposed to be that way, is what makes it fun. So that's actually pretty cool. So let's try changing it back to relaxed gravity. Relaxed gravity. That's not bad. Let's try changing it to spicy. Oh no, the gravity is spicy. oh, come on, man. Yeah. Whoa. Okay, yeah. That's pretty freaky, man. Whoa. Yeah, that's a little bit too fast for me. Oh, crap. Okay. I turned off the gravity again, up to just before I blocked out. Yeah, that's pretty funny, man. See, there doesn't seem to be a pause key in this, so it's like you're losing game time when you go to change the settings. That's the only sad part about it. There's no way to pause it and then change the settings. But I saved myself by changing the gravity off just in time. So now that I have the gravity off, I can get my board level down a little bit. It's actually really funny that such a thing like this exists. So this is Zen mode. It's basically just peaceful Tetris with the customized settings. You don't get like high scores or any records for it, but it's more of just a way of practicing your block placing skills. And not only that, it's possible to play multiplayer Tetris against other people using Tetrio here. That's really why I joined it, because I wanted to test my skills against other humans. I've actually won a few Tetris matches before. And before I end this live stream, perhaps I should play a match on Tetrio just so you can see how it works. I highly recommend it. So let's see here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to exit Zen mode. I'm going to hold escape. Okay, so now I'm going to try multiplayer. I'm going to try, okay, we have Tetrally, we have Quick Play, 5 players of your skill in ranked duels. Okay, we're going to go to the Tetrally, and I'm going to find a match and play Tetris against somebody else. Let's see how it works. It has to find the person that's close to my rank, and then we'll just see how it works. Whether or not, will I win or lose, who can say? We will see. But I don't know how many people are on this site, but I imagine it's a lot. So if it finds somebody to match with me, then basically, yeah, it says if you leave the game early, at any point you'll be awarded a loss. So even if your internet connection screws up, it still counts as a loss. So it's really unfortunate. So I'm just hoping that it works. Okay, I'm against someone named Sisilew. I don't know how you say that name. Sisilew. Okay. So here we have 2-player Tetris. Notice how the pieces, the blocks, the way they appear are exactly the same. So we're playing with exactly the same blocks. So this could get really interesting. Who knows what's going to happen, man? Do that, man. Yeah, and the thing is, even though I would like to do a setup for like a Tetris clear. It's hard to do that when you're in competitive battle because then notice how it sends those garbage blocks to your end. The idea is you have to clear them because you die if you don't. So competitive Tetris is no joke. It's actually pretty hard to not lose the game just by yeah yeah. So it can be pretty hard to actually win at competitive Tetris. I've won a few times. Ooh, okay, yeah, this is not looking good. Yeah, yep, so I lost that match. But I think it's best 2 out of 3 or something like that. So I get to play against the person again and see if I can win this round. Just one mistake will cost the game competitive Tetris. So we'll see how it goes. Depends on who I'm up against. Some of the people on here, I'm sure not even humans. I'm sure it's just bots that have programmed AI, which is probably already like possibly good at Tetris beyond what a human could actually do. So it's really hard to know whether to take it seriously, whether you want to do it here. I could be going up against a robot for all I know. Yeah, got something cool going on here. I'm playing good this round because I'm keeping my board low. That's the real key, is keeping the board low so that even when you are sent garbage blocks, it doesn't completely just obliterate you. It's easier said than done, though, for sure. This is a very interesting match. I'm not even sure how long it's possible for the game to go on. I think it's basically just a battle to the death. Whoever ends up popping out first loses. Whoa. Yeah, this is getting pretty intense. I'm surprised I'm even in this game still so long. Ooh, wow, I actually won that match. I actually won that match. How crazy is that? I just got really lucky with those long blocks at the end. But also, these newer Tetris games have a feature wherein you can save a block. I press C to save a block, and then I can use it later. That's it's part of the strategy of modern Tetris games, basically. And the thing that I've learned is even though I like to have back-to-back Tetrises, um, it's probably best not to be too risky. And also, if you get Tetrises close to each other, even if they're not back-to-back, like you have other line clears in between, it's still a lot of garbage sent to your opponent. So it's really good for keeping yourself having the advantage in this type of game. Yes. Another Tetris clear. Ooh, I won. Ooh, I lost one match, but I won two, he won one. Ooh, there's another one. I'm not even sure how this works. I'm not even sure because I won two, he's won one, or he, I don't even know. But I'm playing against some type of real person somewhere in the world, is what I understand. And that's pretty cool. Ooh, I won. So now I've won. Ooh, victory. Yes, I have victory. So I lost one round, but I won 3 rounds. So that's actually pretty good. So now you see that it is possible to play multiplayer Tetris online in a web browser. It's actually really cool. And check this out. It has my best times for 40 lines, my best score for Blitz, and 8 out of 10 rating games. 3 games of one. Nice. And here's my full profile. So I have a profile on Tetrio here. It tells how long I've been playing, it tells my best achievements, that kind of thing. And the thing is, there probably is a way to challenge a specific player. I just don't know how yet. I'm sure there's a way to do it. I would at least hope so. Because it'd be nice if people could specifically arrange to play Tetris with me. But there's many options, many different versions of Tetris. But anyway, this has basically been my Tetris stream. It's been a lot of fun because not only did I get to play a little bit of Tetris, I also got to modify the code of Tint, the open source Tetris clone, basically. And I can make the board size different, and I can make the pieces fall slower or even faster if I really want. And once you've got that, you've got it made. I've been trying to practice Tetris combos. I've been practicing Tetris like you wouldn't believe, and I'm getting pretty good. Good enough to beat some people competitively sometimes. So I'm going to keep practicing. And it's too bad that I didn't get any comments on this live stream yet. And I've been going for about an hour and 45 minutes at this point. And most people are probably going to be bored by the fact that I was just doing my programming experiments, modifying the source code and all that. But since I haven't done any programming and I knew there was an open source version of Tetris, I really wanted to mess around with it, see what I can do. So who knows what the possibilities are, but it's actually quite impressive. So anyway, I guess that's gonna be it for this live stream. but you got to see a little bit of Tetris action, me playing and also modifying Tetris source code. So that's kind of fun. So I hope somebody has enjoyed this video, even though it's kind of long and boring for non-programmers. But I have some watermelon to go through. So I'll see you in the next stream. Oh, and also, before I leave, I want to remind anybody who's still watching about the 8th rule of Stream Club is donate to River. And in fact, I would like to, let's see, put the link to the GoFundMe in the comments. I'm not sure if it will let me post that in the comments or not, but that's the GoFundMe link for my roommate River. So go donate to River if you want to help him get his booth removed. My roommate is sort of non-binary, sort of a trans man type of person. So that's what's up with that. So that's pretty much all I've got to say about that. So be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.